Hey guys, I wanted to talk today a little bit about the Saturn conjunct South Node Synastry aspect. So this is between one person's Saturn and another person's South Node, and this can be your Saturn and their South Node, or it can be your South Node and their Saturn. But I wanted to talk specifically about the conjunction, which is, in my opinion, the most powerful synastry aspect. And the conjunction is when the two points are very close to each other on the wheel. So when I look at conjunctions, I typically like to look between 0 degrees and like 6 degrees, but I think anything within 10 degrees is definitely still a conjunction. It's just maybe not as strong if it's at like 9 or 10 degrees conjunction versus like 0 degrees. It's going to be super, super strong. So this aspect is incredibly powerful. It's one of the most, if not the most, binding aspect that you can have between two people. So when you meet this person, you might not feel it immediately, but over time you will get the sense that there's something that just keeps you bound to this person. It feels like there is glue between you and this person. And not just glue in the sense where it's like you're trapped, you can't escape, although it can feel like that sometimes, but there's something so comforting and safe and familiar about this person. And it just feels so natural to keep going back to this person, even if your current life paths in this lifetime are not super aligned. And that's where the issues can arise. And the reason that this person is going to feel so comfortable, so familiar, and so safe is because both Saturn and the South Node are very karmic points. So Saturn is a planet, and Saturn is a very karmic planet. Saturn keeps track of where your soul has been throughout the lifetimes before this lifetime. Saturn is always kind of keeping score, and it's the planet of karma. And it's very connected to the past and traditions and past lives. And it also is all about learning lessons and soul growth and maturity through difficult experiences. And the South Node is not a planet, it's a point in the sky. And the point is where your soul is coming from. So the South Node is basically like the best example of your most recent past life. That's kind of where your soul is coming from in this lifetime. So wherever the South Node is in your chart, that point, it feels very familiar to you. It feels safe because, especially earlier in life, because we've kind of mastered that point in a past life. So when we come into this life, we have those kind of skills and qualities of that South Node, and they're very highly developed because we worked on that a lot in our past life. So the reason that this conjunction feels so comforting and familiar and safe is because there's probably a high chance that you did meet this person in a past life, and there could even be a chance that you guys have shared multiple past lives together. That would be very evident from a South Node Saturn conjunction, because again, both points are very much connected to the past and past lives. So there is a huge sense of comfort and familiarity with this person. This person might feel like your soul family. There may also even be a sense of obligation to this person, like you owe them something. And that could also be, the product of a past life where maybe one of you wronged each other or whatever, there were unfinished lessons between you. So essentially, when two people with this conjunction come together in this lifetime, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to stay in each other's lives for this whole lifetime. It does mean that there will likely be a huge sense of feeling very, very like obligated to each other and very serious towards each other, because that's Saturn. And there could also be a chance that you guys came together in this lifetime to finish up some unfinished karmic business between each other. So there is a chance, if it's romantic, that you come together with this person and then you get into a relationship with this person and it's really serious and kind of heavy at times, but you're working through a lot of karma with each other. So it can be positive, but it can also be negative, because again, this is so focused on the past and our past lives, this placement, that it can feel like you are being held back in this lifetime when you meet this person, because they may not necessarily be your future. But I just can't stress enough how binding this aspect is. And so I feel like after going your separate ways, you may always have this person in your heart or in the back of your mind, even if it doesn't work out, that you can stay in touch in this lifetime. So it can be quite a heavy aspect. So the Saturn person might feel like they owe something to the South Node person. The Saturn person might feel like it's their job to almost like be of service to the South Node person in some way, like teach them something or provide in some way. And then the South Node person is going to feel that glue. And they're both going to feel the glue, but especially the South Node person. But the South Node person also might feel like this person is maybe not my future. Because remember, with the South Node, that's the point where we've already developed it in a past life, and we're not meant to stay in our South Node in this lifetime. We're meant to move into our North Node, which is on the other side of the wheel. So the South Node person may eventually start to feel like, okay, we've worked out some stuff in this relationship, whatever kind of relationship it is, and now it's time for me to move towards my future. And I want to move towards that North Node. And the South Node person may realize that maybe the Saturn person isn't meant to come with them on their journey. It also could be mutual, where they both decide to go their separate ways after coming together, or they could end up staying in each other's lives if their charts align in other ways and they're really compatible. For example, if they're really compatible in terms of like their descendants, which I think is one of the most important parts of your chart to look at in terms of relationships, is like, where's your descendant? What kind of qualities do you want in another partner? And if these two people have really compatible charts in other areas, then this could be the aspect that literally keeps them together for their entire lives. Because this is the aspect, or one of the aspects, that's like, I would marry you because I'm never going to really feel super comfortable moving on from you. So it is very possible that these people could end up getting married. But it's just really important, if you have this aspect, to don't stay with this person because you feel obligated to, or because you feel like you owe them something, or because you want to stay in your comfort zone. If you're feeling any of those things, then it's really important to do your best to break free and to move forward. And it doesn't have to be hurtful. It doesn't have to be, whatever. It can just be mature, and it can just be like, you know what, I think we've worked out what we needed to work out, and I think we're on separate paths. So it's really up to you. But this has been my interpretation and my experience with the aspect, and I'm curious to hear what you guys think of the aspect.